Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My colleagues over here, Mr. Vittal and Mr. Navneet, they have probably mentioned almost overall scenario of how preschools are right now been going through in our country. I would just like to simplify their thoughts in my presentation, which I'm going ahead with. These are no new facts to all of us who are present over here. The reason why I'm actually just going through these facts is I would like to give your attention towards the facts which actually implicates on the requirement of an organized preschool in India. We all are aware that India is one of the largest populated countries in the world. We are also aware that it's also an emerging country or an emerging market in Asia and across the globe. Something which directly was not been discussed by Mr. Vittal or Mr. Navneet is we do find, as probably Mr. Vittal said, that Auntie G kind of and preschools which are already existing and part of our preschool segment so far. And another point which even Navneet had mentioned is about no governing body or no regulations mentioned of conduction of in preschool. Some highlights which I would like to put across is again about the minuscule GDP which has been provided by the government of India to primary education is again one very important aspect. And if in that I talk about early childhood education or a preschool, then there is a huge question mark. In fact, until the last decade, I would like to mention that there was this dilemma of declaring, in fact, which still exists so far, that whether the pre-primary education or the preschools should be considered part of an education or not. I believe all of us over here are still expecting that answer from our government of India. Keeping these issues which are already there, which I would be covering in my opportunities and threats which we'll be talking and looking into. Why preschools? What preschools is something we just had a discussion on. I would just put across why preschools. The very first reason which I feel and what we analyzed is what preschools were a decade ago and what preschools are in past 3 years. It's been widely accepted as an early childhood education as a starting point for a child's education career. If we all just recollect our days when we started our education career, I'm sure we would be really difficult to understand that did we start from a lower KG and upper KG or first standard, or was it a combination of all this thing come together, probably nursery, junior, senior, everything together, is again some question marks which we would definitely would not be able to recollect it. What I would like to tell here is that today preschools have become an point of start for a child's education career, which we have clearly seen in whatever percentages we are talking about, whether it's organized, it's unorganized, but it's become a part and parcel of a child's educational career. It's also the early foundation years for the child's academic future. As we are all talking about the brain development in a child in first 5 years and 6 years, Probably that's the point which I would like to put across over here. Increased awareness. There is a question mark which my colleagues have put across, that we need to create a lot of awareness in the parents that this is something which is a most important part of a child's education career, and how they need to take it seriously in choosing a right place for the child's growth. So I'm highlighting that point over here. Also considered as a gateway to K-12 schools. The reason for that is because the child is too young to travel a long distance, and today it's a big challenge having schools within your vicinity and within the area where it's densely populated, and we know the reasons for the same. Again, an opportunity wherein it's a respectable platform in a society when you are coming up with such kind of an activity of starting in preschool. Also a contribution to a society and our nation. And a small numbers which I would like to share over here is the kind of opportunity which is there in terms of the 2 to 6 years old population in our country, which is almost around 10% of our total population. Mr. Navneet has already discussed about, in fact, I'm sorry, Mr. Vittal had discussed about the different 3 segments where the preschools are divided into. I would just add one more into it, is talking about the Bal Mandir and the Bal Shikshan Abhiyan. Even that are the rural area preschools which are there existing in our segment, where probably the government is trying to push across. So even that's the segment which under an PPP format we would always want to be a part of it. A little small brief on Shanti Educational Initiatives, whom I represent. Was an initiative started by Chiripal Group, and with a very noble cause wherein we wanted to give something back to the society, catering to the PG to PG, that's playgroup, to the post-graduation arena. Presently we are into 3 different segments. Shanti Juniors catering to the preschool, chain of preschools, pan-India basis. We have got around 125 centers so far. Again, as my colleague said, that we still are in a small numbers, but hopefully looking at bigger numbers. Shanti Asiatic Schools, which is catering to the K-12 schools, and Shanti Business Schools, which is basically catering to the PGDPM courses and the graduate, postgraduate courses. Moving ahead is a little jugglery of words which I have taken over here, is threats and opportunities, and probably something which we don't focus on, opportunities in threats. I've tried to make it a very simpler way and pointer so that I don't need to take much time. When talking about threats, if I'm taking population as a threat, I am taking as an opportunity. Though we all keep on talking about that we are very populated, that's the reason we do not, the country is not growing and stuff like that. Probably I don't believe in it. I find it as an opportunity, as in business, whether it's public, whether it's private. If the resources is well managed, poverty and unemployment which we are talking about, I think if we are taking this as a threat, I believe I've got instances, I've got admissions of profiles who are hardly able to churn their livelihoods, but they are making sure that their child is in one of the best preschools. And I could say almost our numbers are 5% and above, where the hawkers, the street sellers and that kind of children are coming to our preschools. So in fact that is one thing which I would like to highlight on. The low GDP threat which we were talking about is probably where I would like to focus on the PPP model, which probably are been talked upon in K-12 schools, in universities, and probably models of schools which are existing so far, where the government interference has been there. So something like that, as I said, that in Balwadi program or Service Shiksha Abhiyan program, which normally state board and state government normally runs into it, is where we are also wanting to participate, and we have already started our work on it. No governing body, yes, that's a threat, that's again a requirement which is not there, and which I would take it as a freedom for offering best education to a child, to the young minds. Threats in terms of, yes, when you're talking about getting into a preschool or starting a preschool, the very first question is, I'm like, it's saturated, it's done. I'm like, there are so many preschools around us. I would rather say it another way, wherein, yes, the focus turns out from this threat to an opportunity where quality shifting or emergence becomes a prime importance. What is the best you are offering for the young mind? In the same manner, when we are talking about public preschool facing withdrawals, then again the same thing, it's a time for a joint venture. Even this is one of the issues or a threat which people are looking into as market recession. And I would like to put across is that, as I said, that today parents are very focused. As Navneet said that, a child in a family is the most important part of a family, and that's where they all want to make sure that the right education and a good education is provided to the child. Quality of the education is a question mark or a threat which always keep on hovering around us, is where we talk about competition is the best way of making sure that we can serve the best quality to our young minds. Untrained human resources, that's a huge challenge in our education segment, whether we talk about preschools, whether we talk about K-12, whether we talk about colleges or universities. And that's where we have already started our teacher training institutes, and we are also looking forward that how do we make sure a right kind of skilled labor or a right kind of skilled environment of teachers have been created into this segment. By regional fixation, I would like to talk about the kind of demands which are there in terms of regional basis. As we all are aware that K-12 schools do have a board or kind of an scenario where they know that state board needs to follow this kind of a curriculum, the IB board needs to follow this kind of a curriculum. When you're talking about CBSE, ICSE, they all have a list of or a standardized format of following the kind of subjects and topics which are covered at the age. In preschools, yes, it's more of the own R&D done by the company, the more R&D done by that individual preschools, which is actually a challenge, a threat, which needs to be converted as an opportunity by serving a good quality education. Quality of educational material, yes, we are also working on a technology and a research kind of a scenario, where how these young minds can be trained through a digitalization, and a good balancing act can be created in that. Shortage of time is basically forcing me to go a little fast on this. If anywhere you have something, you can definitely stop me. Now, talking about opportunities and threats involved in these opportunities. Technology in the classes is where, yes, as I said, a balancing act needs to be created in that. Today, most of our families who have young minds, I'm sure they all are aware that how is their day scheduled. Apart from visiting a preschool, the rest of the 23 hours, or I'm sorry, the 22 hours which they spend in a house or maybe that environment, either they are hooked up to computers, either they are hooked up to gamings, either they are hooked up to tablets. So probably, yes, this is the part and parcel of a child nowadays, and we need to take that more seriously and also have a balancing act into it so that it doesn't...
Dharmesh, can you...
Sure. I'll just take 2 more minutes. So probably that's what I would like to mention over here. Springing of training centers, again, the question arises is of quality of professional training, whether it would be available or not. When we are talking about laws, yes, we are looking forward for something from the government to get into it and come out. And loopholes would be one of the part of it, but that's all in each and every industry. Governing bodies, yes, corruption could be a part of it, but I think we cannot resist that. Business of preschooling, child development as per market demand is something which is always, and quality related issues which we need to take care. Money, yes, is required, but then of course morality is something which we would always want to concentrate on. In short, threats need a thought and opportunities need opponents to polish quality. Not taking much time, I believe just an idea about Shanti Juniors, how do we function. We have got research curriculum, qualified team, audit and support training. We have got a parental involvement, child appropriate academics, trained staff, marketing support. And just a note that we have been awarded Excellence in Quality, Shanti Juniors. And I would end my session with a wonderful note on quality. Quality is never an accident. It is always a result of high intention, sincere efforts, intelligent direction and skillful execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Thank you very much.